reputation is everything in business. Reputation is everything. You can burn stuff, you can make mistakes in your professional life, but if you betray someone in business, these are the kind of things that can potentially kill you forever. Also, being authentic. I don't bullshit anyone in business. That's very important. So I think that us entrepreneurs, we have a responsibility to make the world a better place. I know it sounds a little bit cheesy. Some people said, "Oh, come on, everybody is saying so." Yes, but actually I mean it because I have 3 kids, 9 years old, 7 years old, and 6 years old, and they keep asking me, "Daddy, what do you do at work? Am I going to tell my kids about the revenue that I did last year? Am I going to tell my kids about the EBITDA target that I have for the next 2 years? No. I want to tell my kids that I'm proud of what I'm doing because my businesses are actually having an impact, a positive impact on people and on the environment. So this is why I stand for. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone who believes that what he builds or what she builds is going to work. Pessimistic people have no room in the world of entrepreneurship. It's as simple as this.
True.
Work-life balance is my biggest challenge because I have 3 little kids and I have a wife. And I am a workaholic, but I want to make sure that my kids will never be telling me in 10, 15, 20 years, Daddy, you were not here. So I'm really paying very, very much attention to this. And also for me, for my balance, and because I love them, I love my kids more than anything in the world, so that goes for sure. But what I came to realize is that I cannot be at home all the time. However, I have a few rules, and the biggest rule is to be with my kids for the important moment. It's all about timing, right? You can have the best idea in the world if you are 2 years before too early, or if you come too late at the party because there are already some players there. And this is where my method for launching new startup is a bit different from many entrepreneurs. I don't believe I should reinvent the wheel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Isle of Failure podcast. Tonight we have a very special guest, Grégoire Vigroux. He's a serial entrepreneur, community builder, and angel investor. He invested and co-founded startups, 24 businesses, and exited 4, right? And 4 exits, it's a lot. Coming from somebody with no exit, an entrepreneur, it's a lot. So, Grégoire, thank you very much for being here tonight.
Mulțumesc foarte mult, mulțumesc din suflet.
So we start in Romanian then.
Dacă vrei.
Dacă
Cum vrei.
I was wondering if you know Romanian, but
Now you know I do.
It was weird because sometimes when I messaged you, you replied in Romanian, and I didn't know. Look, who's replying here? His latest startup is bonapp.eco, which is focusing on food waste. So we don't waste food in. It's like 40% waste of food in the world.
Yes, so it's absolutely huge. Yes, 40% of the food that is produced globally goes to waste.
That's crazy.
Almost half. It's absolutely incredible. And when you are looking at it, just focus on Romania, it's actually 5 million tons of food in Romania go to waste every year. And in the same time, what's the problem? The problem that food gets more and more expensive, and for a Romanian household, in average, is 40% of the money, of the budget that goes into food and beverages. So I believe that my role in society as an entrepreneur is to identify issues, problems, challenges, and to come back to these problems with solutions. And this is exactly what we are trying to do to achieve with bonapp, fighting food waste, so that it's a win for the consumer, for the retailers as well, so that we help them fight food waste and increase revenue. And it's a win for the planet, of course.
Awesome. So did you always focus on the startups? Because I later in life started to focus on startup with impact. In the beginning, I was about the money, about making, any business, whatever. But now I only waste my time with things that really matter, like really have an impact. So this is something recent for you, or?
So I think that us entrepreneurs, we have a responsibility to make the world a better place. I know it sounds a little bit cheesy. Some people said, "Oh, come on, everybody is saying so." Yes, but actually I mean it because I have 3 kids, 9 years old, 7 years old, and 6 years old, and they keep asking me, Daddy, what do you do at work? Am I going to tell my kids about the revenue that I did last year? Am I going to tell my kids about the EBITDA target that I have for the next 2 years? No. I want to tell my kids that I'm proud of what I'm doing because my businesses are actually having an impact, a positive impact on people and on the environment. So this is why I stand for. And I believe again, as entrepreneurs, especially younger generations, even though I'm not that young anymore, I'm 43 years old. So I believe that us entrepreneurs, we have a role to play. Why? Because we have influence. So we have employees under our leadership, so we can influence them for the better. Because we have money, when our businesses do well, we have money. We can redistribute this money to a noble cause. So yes, we are powerful. I mean, at least we are trying to be powerful, influential, financial capabilities. So yes, we shouldn't leave NGOs the sole responsibility to try to make the world a better place. We need to support them as much as we can. At least this is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm very proud of the companies that I've been involved with. And I could talk about my latest companies, including bonapp.eco, for hours, but let's
Yeah.
move to the next question, probably.
Sure. The thing is, entrepreneurs are crazy, are gamblers, are addicts, and they have a high tolerance for failure. We're not afraid to try things, and I'm very curious how it was for you. Like you were born like that. Like if you're gay, you just find out you're an entrepreneur, or this is something with the education, or how did you find out that this is what you want to do? Because this is not for everybody.
I think I get bored super easily. So whenever I do the same thing all the time, I'm going to feel really in pain. So I really wanted to launch new businesses, to have my own businesses. That was something that I always had in my mind, and not only one, but several businesses. So this is why I've been constantly involved in multiple projects in the same time, and I'm surrounded by people who are smarter than I am, so that they can run the operations. Whereas I'm trying to bring my added value when it comes to business development, communication, leveraging on my network. So yes, it's all about picking the right business partners to launch and grow the businesses and scale the businesses, and have complementary skills.
Yeah, but was this something in your education? Did you know in high school that you're going to be entrepreneur? Because I know you work a little bit in the government. I mean the embassy. So did you always knew, or
I wanted to become a teacher. I wanted to teach sports because I was a big fan of sports. So I was planning to become a teacher at school and teach sports to school students in a liceo, in high school. So that was my plan. I used to do lots of sports, athletics. So yeah, that was what I wanted to do. But I realized that it was going to be a short career if I wanted to become a sports person at a high level, and then I would end up being a teacher in a school. And then I realized that I don't like to get bored, so it might not necessarily be the best thing for me to do. So I said, okay, what about I launch my own businesses? So it took me some time because I started my first business in 2007. I was 27 years old, and it was a very small call center company in Bucharest named Call Point with 8 employees. We started in Militar. We had a small company in Militar with 8 employees. And from these 8 employees, we grew the business to 7,000 employees because we have 7,000 employees today, 4,000 employees in Bulgaria, 3,000 employees in Romania. The company now is named TELUS International Europe, and we belong to TELUS International, which is a large global organization from Canada. I exited from this company in 2017, and I'm still involved in the business today. I love this company. It's somehow more corporate because it's a big global organization, but that was my first baby, right? I like to talk about my startups as babies, and that was my first baby. I'm still very much emotionally attached to this baby, even though this baby is not a baby anymore. It's a big grown-up company.
so about your kids? What would you prefer them to have a job or to become entrepreneurs? This is just straight.
So I have 3 kids. I would like one of them at least to be an entrepreneur. I would dream of having one of my 3 kids to be an entrepreneur.
So we're gonna push in that direction, or just let
Yeah,
it
but
be?
not too strongly. I mean, I will let them find their ways. But if I can have one of them really be an entrepreneur, it would be. I would be very proud about this. Yeah.
That's great. And what about this ADHD? Like you have, what's happening there? I see you are impatient, and when I talked to you, said let's walk, let's have a walk meeting, which is very interesting. It never happened to me before I met you. So what's this like?
So indeed, I can't stand on a chair for too long because I have a ADHD condition. So this is why all my meetings, or at least almost all my meetings, are walking meetings. I can't stay on a chair too long. I'm going to do it today, of course. I'm not going to ask you guys to follow me so that we walk around this nice Pipera downtown office buildings. No, I do a walking meeting almost every day, 2 to 3 walking meetings per day. So instead of being in an office face to face with someone, we go and we walk in a park. Usually we go to a restaurant. We walk for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And the dynamic is completely different. So first of all, with fresh air come fresh ideas. Second of all, instead of being face to face with someone in a room, you walk at the same speed in the same direction. So the dynamic is completely different. Third of all, I've noticed that if you need to give some feedback to a team member, for example, the person is going to be much more receptive and much more open than just being face to face, just in front of the table. You walk, so the person is going to be more open and it's going to be a more pleasant experience. And plus, of course, because I'm 43 years old and I want to live as long as possible, having walking meetings every day keeps me healthy. So this is why I've been doing this for long. But the primary reason indeed is the fact that I have ADHD condition. So my brain constantly, never stops. It's hard for me to sleep properly. It's hard for me to focus on only one project at a time. I used to struggle a lot when I was a kid. I didn't do well at school at all. It was really, really a struggle. And then I realized I got diagnosed ADHD by a neurologist. It's just a problem of dopamine in my brain. The dopamine is not transmitted correctly. The level of dopamine in my brain is not transmitted correctly, which means that my level of hyperactivity is very high all the time. And I also have another condition, which is due to this condition, because ADHD stands for attention disorder and hyperactivity. I also can't focus too long on a conversation or on a topic. My brain switches or my brain just stops. It happened to me a couple of times in a very bad times. I was on Romanian TV giving a live interview. In the middle of the interview, blackout. And it was just the journalists and me. And it was a very painful experience, but I know how to handle these kind of things. So I just pretend, I smile, and It happened to me also during a board meeting, 12 people around the table, very important topics. No one at the table knew that I had ADHD. And someone, of course, at the point when I have a blackout, person said, "So Greg, what do you think?" Same here, blackout, I smile. And after the board meeting, I told them, "Look, I'm sorry, I have ADHD." So that can be a real issue in my life, to be honest. But I've learned how to live with it. Some people have much more terrible conditions than I do, so I don't want to complain. And on my arm, it's written TDAH. In French, it stands for ADHD. It means the same. Trouble de l'attention avec hyperactivité. So it reminds me every morning when I look at myself in the mirror that I need to use my ADHD condition as a strength rather than a weakness. Not easy all the time. I'm like a lion in a cage all the time. But again, I can do multiple things in the same time. I have a level of energy that allows me to be involved in more than 20 businesses. So again, I want to see this as a strength rather than a weakness. Anyway, I don't have a choice, right? I used to take medication, but the medication was bad for my heart. I used to take Ritalin, but it was bad for my heart. So I didn't want to start having heart conditions. So I just stopped. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That could be a topic for I Love Failure session, for the full topic. Sure. Katalin kindly invited me to share another story of failure, and I have many failures like most entrepreneurs do. I shared the story of my burnout. I went through a burnout in March 2014. Maybe you will invite me again and I will talk about my ADHD, because ADHD also is very important. 5% of the global population has ADHD, which means that in the companies in which you work, in your families, everywhere, in class when you were at school, at least 1-2 people in the direct surrounding has ADHD. The problem is that it's not diagnosed very much in Romania. It's not even recognized as a true condition in Romania. In the US, it's been the case for 20 years. In France, for only 10 years. In Romania, not yet.
So I might have. I don't know. I don't know. I was not good at school, but maybe it's connected now. I'm connecting the dots. But if you went to the burnout, this is something. Anyway, I had some episodes. I don't know if they are burnouts or not. Nobody knows the symptoms. I know the symptoms. If you can tell me what the symptoms are for the burnout, that would be tell us.
Yeah, so a quick story about my burnout. I was, so March 2014, I was coming back from the USA. I spent an entire week, very stressful. It was an international conference for the company. I didn't work, I didn't sleep a lot. I come back, I'm with the jet lag, the timing difference. I don't have enough sleep. At that time, I didn't eat properly. At that time, I was drinking too much coffee. And coffee, 4 or 5 coffees per day, which is really too much for me, especially because I have ADHD, so I already am full of energy, so I didn't need to have extra energy, but still, I was a coffee addict. And I was at the office and I start feeling a little bit bad. And I go to my assistant and say, look, I don't feel good. Can you please call an ambulance? Right after I say this, my body literally collapsed on the ground. I just find the strength to turn my head so that my nose do not hurt the ground. And I can't breathe properly and my muscles do not respond. My offices were in Pipera at that time. It took me 1 hour for the ambulance to get there. To Pipera, it was in Global City. 1 hour. So for 1 hour almost, I started having difficulties to breathe. I was feeling so bad. All the colleagues were scared around me. And I started to do a panic attack. I didn't know it was a panic attack, but a colleague said, like, look, you have a heart attack, one of them said. So I was even more scared. I go to the hospital, they check everything in my body. So my brain says, sir, you are okay with your brain, your heart, you are okay with your heart, everything, you are a perfectly healthy man. You don't have anything to do at the hospital. I go to the private hospital, I go to Regina Maria, I see a doctor, the guy sees me coming, he sees my face. I told him the story of my day and he asked me one question. And just by asking me this one question, I understand immediately what it was about. He said, sir, tell me about your job. And by just asking me the question, then I realized, because I remember reading some stuff about burnout, but I didn't believe it was going to happen to me because I thought I was so strong. I thought I was invincible, but this was not true. I'm not invincible, I'm not strong. I was an ambitious entrepreneur. But, we have bodies. At one point, your body is going to stop you. Your body is going to say stop. And this is exactly what my body did on that day. My body is to say, no, you believe you can continue to work like this, like crazy, but you need to stop. And the best way my body decided to tell me you stop was just by stopping all the movement functions of my body. So nature has its way to remind you that you're just a human being. It took me 6 months to recover from my burnout. Little things may be a bit silly, but it worked. Walking in the park, every time I was feeling a bit bad, I go to the park, watch the trees, fresh air. I didn't do walking meetings at that time, but I could have started at that time because then it came to my mind afterwards. Also, never let my body being awakened by alarm clock, because everybody was coming from the fact, especially that not only the stress, not only the bad habits with coffee, etc., but the fact that I didn't have enough sleep. So I said, okay, I'm going to let my body be awake whenever my body needs to be awake. So never took a meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 5, very good. I wake up at 11, very good as well. So that's also something that I still do today. I don't want to push my body, so I never take meetings too early in the morning. My first meetings start at 11, 12, so that there is never an alarm clock to wake me up. And that's also is a game changer for me. And also there is a big myth, there is a big legend in corporations especially. People tell you, oh, you have to go out to get out of your comfort zone. This is not true for everyone. I believed in this myth, so I was trying to do some new stuff. I'm not good at finance, so I started to do a bit of finance in my companies. I'm not good at operations, I started to be operationally involved. But that drove me to the burnout, doing things that I don't like, doing things that I'm not good at. whereas I should have stayed focusing on what I do best: business development, external communications, HR, stuff that I know about, and that makes me happy. So I destroyed in my mind completely this myth of working, being involved in outside of the comfort zone, plus all the other little things that I mentioned earlier. Plus just one coffee per in the morning, not 4 or 5 like I used to. So basically, very simple things.
So no anxiety, no panic attacks, no
No,
paranoia.
nothing, because I know how to prevent them from now on.
No paranoia ever. No.
No paranoia. No.
Okay.
No, even not enough paranoid. I should be more paranoid
Yes.
because I give my trust to people and too much easily. I'm the kind of guy. I have a few principles in business. I'm the anti-paranoid guy. Whenever I launch a new company, I start discussing with my competitors immediately.
If
And
they want to talk.
yeah, but I make them most of the time willing to talk because I have the right approach, and it works all the time. So I become friends with competition all the time. I mean, I have a few examples. So whenever I launch a new startup company, I talk to my future competitors about this, and I say, look, I'm going to launch this company. I know that you're already in the field. What about we talk about this? And most of the time, I talked with those players from other countries, and I said, look, for example, with the refurbished smartphone business, because we touched upon bonapp, which is my latest baby startup. The one before that was a company that I launched in April 2020, named Phoenix. Phoenix sells refurbished smartphones. It's a big thing in France, Germany. 20% of the phones which are sold are refurbished. It's like second-hand phones, but repaired, looking like new, with a guarantee like new, with new accessories, new. I launched this company in April 2020. And before launching, I discussed with the top 4 players in Europe. All of them accepted to talk to me. Also because talking to competition, it's a good way to ensure a possible exit in the future. It's also a good way to learn from those competitors. It's a good way also to know if they would come to Romania and Southeastern Europe in 1 year. In that case, I wouldn't have launched a business. So collecting some information, business intelligence from those competitors, and building connections, strong connections with them, so that the time when they want to expand to my region, which is Southeastern Europe, they would buy me out. And this is exactly what happened. April 2020, I launched Phoenix, Phoenix.eco as well. I stand for the .eco
Yeah.
instead of .ro or .com, because it also means that we have eco-friendly startups. 14 months after, 14 months after, I sold 100% of the company to the company from which I took the inspiration in the first place, named Recommerce Group. And now I'm still involved with Recommerce Group, not as a shareholder, but as an advisor to help the company grow in the region. So I'm the anti-paranoid guy. I am the guy who does everything, giving trust. The problem is that, of course, by starting and giving my trust to people here, I can only be disappointed when things go bad. Whereas some people who don't trust people, they only can be positively surprised. But I mean, it's not. I will still continue to do this because I'm an optimistic guy. I'm an extremely positive, extremely optimistic guy, and this is why I became an entrepreneur. Because what is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone who believes that what he builds or what she builds is going to work. Pessimistic people have no room in the world of entrepreneurship. It's as simple as this.
True.
Especially for tech startups, because when you are looking at the statistics, there is a striking figure. Between 70 to 90% of tech startups in Europe will never reach their 4th birthday. So it's like the Russian roulette, right? I mean, it's the roller coaster emotionally speaking, and statistically speaking, it's the Russian roulette. But I'm a startup animal. Some people are corporate animals. They feel good in a safer environment. I'm not saying that corporations are easy. I mean, some people build amazing careers in corporations, having also these entrepreneurial skills that make them evolve till C level, till CEO roles. but it's less risky type of environment. You know that you are going to grow your career. You know that you are going to have the money, and then you know that your company will most probably be here in 1 year, 2 year, 10 years. With the world of startups, it's a matter of constant survival, and I need that. I like that.
I mean, what I got from you is I'm gonna change Halo Failure to .eco, which is gonna we're gonna get an exit from that. So um, now that you talked about your business partnerships, like in Romania, my biggest problem, I had 8 companies so far, and I got creamed by my partners every time, like Romanian partners. And I kind of avoid Romanian partners, basically starting with the last one. And I was curious, do you have Romanian partners in your businesses or not? Because
To be honest, I have a few, but not many.
yeah.
But it's not because I wouldn't trust Romanians. Of course, it's not. My wife is Romanian, so if I decided to marry a Romanian, it means that I trust Romanians enough. And I have 3 kids, French Romanian, so my family is here, and I feel almost Romanian myself. And by the way, eventually I will also take the Romanian citizenship. It happens that I have mostly French partners because the French community in Romania is relatively significant, especially here in Bucharest. And I'm known in this French business community and French community in general. So lots of young French people come to me and they ask me if we can do some business together. So I would say that there are many more requests coming from French people that want to work with me rather than Romanians. That's first. Second of all, I also do lots of business with Greeks, especially in real estate. I have lots of investments in real estate, and I mostly work with Greeks. So I'm very international in the way I do business with partners. But I have also a rule when picking a partner is the concept of what I call high flyer. So when I meet with 100 people, I will do business as a business partner with one of them, so 1%. So every day, as I told you, I do those working meetings. Very often I meet with someone new who wants to be a business partner or whom I have identified as being a potential business partner with me. When I do these kind of business meetings, 100, I select 10 people. These 10 people, I'm going to introduce them to what I call my crew, my pack, my gashka. They are going to have those meetings also with them. My Gashka is based on 13, 14 guys. Unfortunately, no woman, and this is something I need to work on because it's not because I don't want, because I'm very much about female leadership, and I will tell you a story about this because it's really close to my heart. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. Anyway, my Gashka is going to validate or invalidate the people that I see. Once a person gets validated by all of them, we give this person a mission, a project. It can be something related to a specific mission on one of our existing startup, or for a future startup, it can be like doing a market research very fast, and this person would have to bring lots of creativity, imagination, and intelligence to make it happen. So just testing with little project like this, and when we see that all the boxes are checked, yes, we pick this person and we launch a business with this new person. But still, we can get disappointed and have also some dissatisfaction. It happens, but we are very, 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 very picky, and also we ask lots of recommendations. We do lots of background checks because it's all about the people you run the businesses with, right?
This is crazy. I've never seen so much validation for getting a partner, but you need it. I mean, I've never met a partner that I was good with. There was none.
Yeah, and I think another thing is that by going through all those walking meetings with so many people, etc., the people who stay in the end, it means that they really want to do business with us.
Yeah.
But they know also about the history. They know about my 4 exits. They know that I brought some people in my Gashka. I'm using Gashka because I saw that you reacted more positively when I said Gashka than my pack on my. And it's true that I like very much this Romanian word. Anyway, so yes, they know about our history, and they know that potentially if they decide to join our community and they decide to be business partner in one of our next businesses, it means, and the statistics are more than 20 or 30% chances of survival, because we don't burn 70 to 90% of our startups, because we have the experience, because we have the network, because we have access to capital. They know that there is a fair chance for them to eventually build a company that is going to grow like crazy, that is going to scale, that they could exit from, so they could make lots of money. And they also know, because it's not all about money, that the type of startups that I launch are startups with a positive impact on the environment and on people. And that's a driver, especially for the younger generation. My youngest business partner, so again, I was born in 1980. Some of my business partners, they are 22, 23 years old. And for them, even more. For their generation, it counts even more. Bonapp, fighting food waste, they love it. Recommerce Group, the refurbished smartphones, they love it, because it has a positive impact. And this, for this new generation, is much more important than for mine. Myself, I have friends from business school who work in tobacco company, or who work for companies that produce weapons.
Yeah.
So, and they are happy with it, right? No, it's not my cup of tea. I don't want to launch the next tobacco company. I don't want to create the next fast food company. I want to create, again, businesses that I'm proud of, and that my kids are proud of.
That's the trend. That's what I'm doing with I Love Failure, with Voxa,
Yes.
with reading. Like, I cannot, like, you need that value also, like, not just the money. You need to know that you're building something, and you attract a lot of young talent and a lot of people that are very interested. Now, one thing I noticed about you, it's your network, which you talk about, which is crazy. How can you build such a network? Like, I'm amazed what your events and all these people that I met in your network. How much time did you put into this? Because this is not easy to do.
So I think that it came very naturally. So I like to meet with new people. I do business with many people, startups, corporations. So it came very naturally. But from the beginning, I understood the value of the reputation in business. And to me, reputation is everything in business. Reputation is everything. You can burn stuff, you can make mistakes in your professional life, but if you betray someone in business, these are the kind of things that can potentially kill you forever. Also, being authentic. I don't bullshit anyone in business. That's very important, and it requires also a certain methodology. And by methodology, I mean, since 2007 that I've been doing business in Romania, I keep an Excel table with the name, the contact, the LinkedIn link of the profile of all the people that I meet. Almost all of them. So I have a list of 2,000 people. So I have an Excel database of 2,000 people. So that sometimes people contact me, said, "Oh, Greg, you remember me from 10 years ago, etc." Yes, I can. I should push the logic even further, trying to have a new column saying when did we meet, what we talked about, etc. I know that some people do that. I mean, people who are even more crazy than I am.
OCD.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm not that like this, because I'm maybe too lazy for that, or I don't have the time. I don't know. But anyway, you have this database of 2,000 people, and I update this database on a regular basis. I do some events, French tech events, with lots of people as well that I invite. So I think that yes, it's something that comes naturally, and after being involved in those many businesses, one opportunity brings another. You know, I was on the phone earlier with a big retailer in Romania. With this big retailer, I have 4 startups that work with them, and I became Mr. Innovation for this big retailer. Whenever they want to deploy something new, whenever they want to have some feedback about an innovation that they want to launch, they give me a call. And when they don't want to do it by themselves, they say, like, Greg, can you build a SWAT team to launch a startup that is going to match our needs, so that you can give us the solution to our problem with a turnkey solution, so we can deploy, launch a startup, and launch it for them. So by having multiple startups working with one big corporation like that one, of course I build trust. And they know that it's not only the solution that we are going to bring, but they know that they will not be failed, that we will try to find the best people to deploy the best solution for them, because our reputation is at stake. So again, reputation is everything.
Wow. And also about your LinkedIn activity, I'm very curious there. You've built a network like it's the same network that is always boosting everything. The first time I met you, I posted something about me. Nobody liked it. I mean, I had like 5 likes, and then you said something about the post in Le Monde International, and it went viral. So
Yeah, because you posted something again authentic, and Le Monde is a big thing in France. I mean, it's our number one newspaper. And yes, I was very curious, and this is how indeed we ended up discussing. And no, I believe that LinkedIn is a very, very powerful tool, and I believe that LinkedIn, it's also all about authenticity.
yeah.
And my latest post was a few hours ago. It was about Hospice Casa Speranței. Some of you might know Hospice Casa Speranței is the biggest NGO in Romania, 270 employees. They support adults, but also children with life-limiting conditions. So kids with cancer, terminal phase of cancer, or with rare illnesses. And the reason why I shared this post is because there is a story behind the post and what I'm saying in my post, and the fact that I've been supporting them, but like so many other people. And I don't, again, it's not about being fake, about being bragging.
Yeah.
It's also about talking to other people, you know. And by promoting Hospice Casa Speranței in this post, just like I'm promoting Hospice Casa Speranței in front of you, people see that I'm not trying to brag myself. It's not about me. It's about supporting people who deserve to be promoted. And I think that at the end of the day, also, it's not only about the reputation, but trying to put the spotlights on some other people. And bit by bit, of course, people return you the favor, and you follow them, you promote them, and they favor you, they promote you. So, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
but all your posts are like Casa Speranței, like everything you post, it's something big. That's what I've seen. Like, or is getting.
So it's not. It's a good point. It's not necessarily big. So I'm still learning lots of things from LinkedIn, and I've discovered something recently. People don't really care about what I think on LinkedIn, and I'm going to tell you why. They care about what I do. I'm a Forbes contributor, so I once per month I write an article. And to be honest, by the way, with you, because I'm not going to lie, I am supported by people who help me write my posts. So I write articles on a regular basis, including one per month for Forbes. I always want to find the best possible angle, the best possible article. I was talking earlier about the importance of not going out of the comfort zone. I wrote an article about this together with a content writer. I was very happy about it. Posted on Forbes International. I shared this on LinkedIn. Like it's me, it's Forbes article, Forbes International. People don't really mind about this, you know, and I understand. Because it's only something I talk about. It's a long article. You need to click. You go on Forbes. I'm an entrepreneur, and what is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is most importantly a doer, not a thinker. I'm not a philosopher. Okay, I might have a vision. I can have things to say, but people really care about what I do. What I do for Hospice Casa Speranței, what I do with bonapp, the food waste application, what I do with refurbished smartphone, what I do with Telas International in Romania and our 3,000 local employees.
Yeah.
This is what people want to hear about because they want to hear the entrepreneur.
Yeah, LinkedIn is an entrepreneur's platform.
Yes.
That's for sure. Yeah. That's what everything is. It's crazy. I wanted to see if you have a strategy or any tips that you have, but it's very clear from what you just said.
I have a couple of tips on LinkedIn very quickly. First of all, it's also mostly based on algorithms. In case you want to be successful on LinkedIn, there are a few rules to observe. Number one is that the most important thing for the algorithms to have a big reach is what they call the dwell time. The dwell time is how long the readers are going to spend on your post. So if you write a 2 lines post on LinkedIn, even though you might have the best business haikus ever, it's not going to work. you try as much as possible to reach 3,000 characters, because it's the limit of LinkedIn. And if people go from the first word to the last word, the dwell time, the time that they spend is going to be longer. Then the algorithm are going to consider that your post is a good quality post. Second of all, be mindful when you post on LinkedIn. The best moment to post on LinkedIn is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, preferably in the early morning or at noon. If you post something, it can be the most beautiful post ever in the night of Saturday to Sunday, no one is going to reach it, to see it, because the algorithms, they work that way. Everything, many things are based on the first 60 minutes. So in the first 60 minutes after you share your post on LinkedIn, if you have lots of interactions, lots of reactions, then it's going to be boosted very much by the algorithms. So you want this to be at a moment when people are on LinkedIn, Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursdays as well. So this is extremely important as well. Another thing to do is to know that the power of a comment is 4 to 5 times bigger than the power of a like or a share. So if you want to have successful post, don't ask your friends to like it, ask your friends to comment it. Yeah. Then never tag more than 5 people in your post, because you are going to be it's going to be harder with the algorithm. If you tag the people, make sure that they like or they react. If they don't do it, again, the algorithms are not going to support you. I could continue like this for hours, because I like the algorithms. I can talk about social media for hours. I love social media.
Crazy.
But though I started on TikTok 1 year ago, and I'm not too good on TikTok.
I'm good at TikTok.
So really? So you will have to give me lessons on TikTok.
Yeah. So I love what you said about the LinkedIn stuff. And the thing is, do you reshare other people's posts? Because that got me very low. I like reposting other people's stuff. It's not good for me, for the algorithm, basically.
So I never ask myself the question if I want to repost. It's not because I know that it's going to have a positive impact on my LinkedIn, but it's because I care about the content and I want to promote the people that I do it for, right? So even though I understand how the algorithms do, I'm still remain authentic, and even though there are all those algorithms, you need to be authentic. If you are not authentic, it's not going to work. And I have 32,000 followers on LinkedIn, and I see that people know exactly why they are following me. So in case I would try to talk about something completely different from one day to another, I think that people will not care, and I would not have any success. So remaining authentic and talking only about the topics that I believe I know most.
What I've noticed on LinkedIn now on the page Isle of Failure is the videos are starting to get traction. Like videos didn't get any traction before, but now they get a lot of views. It's like the short videos on LinkedIn. I think they changed something.
Yeah, so probably.
It starts to go a little bit viral also on LinkedIn. Yeah, okay. So we've got that out of the way. So what about the comfort zone? What do you mean not get out of the comfort zone? I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone.
I mean, it depends. Some people need to get out of their comfort zone, because if they don't, they sleep, they lose motivation, etc. But for animals like me, it's not good. No. To me, getting out of my comfort zone puts me in an uncomfortable situation. So yeah, again, I suck at finance. Why would I want to spend hours working in a business plan, whereas I have business partners who are far more talented, skilled, and experienced than I am in finance? Again, it's all about being complementary with the business partners.
Well, I'm talking about like maybe you want to get in shape, or you want to run, or stuff like that. Not.
But this is not what I call getting out of the comfort zone. When I'm talking about getting out of the comfort zone, is in the business environment, doing things, taking challenges which are far from what you know best, that far from what your experience come from, etc. And again, but of course, I encourage everybody to do sports. I'm a big sports person myself, so yeah, that's not what I was referring to.
Yeah, but still, I want to do something. If I want to do something that is outside of my comfort zone, like jumping from a cliff or something like that, which I really want to do, it's always stopping me. Like talking on stage, I hear this voice, which is very, very powerful in my head. The monkey, I call it. it's always stopping me from doing what I want. It's not stopping me, but it's you know, it's there. It's getting me crazy. Do you tame your monkey? How's your monkey? How?
So I didn't figure this as a monkey. No, whenever I feel stressed, it does not happen to me too much when I talk in public because I like talking in public. But for example, so on March 22nd, I'm going to have an event about sustainability. I'm going to invite 500 people. By the way, if you want to join, it's going to be about sustainability. It's named Sustainability Meets Profitability. I'm going to have top CEOs from the largest corporations in Romania to talk about sustainability. I'm going to have top entrepreneurs as well to talk about sustainability. I was talking about female leadership earlier. On April 25th, I'm going to hold an event, same with 500 people. I would like to invite 1,000, but the room has only 500 seats. It's going to be about female leadership. It's named Inspiring Women in Business. Same here. I invite top women entrepreneurs, top women CEOs to talk about female leadership. April 25th. If you are interested, of course, I'm happy to invite you all. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because speaking in front of 500 people is not something that scares me as long as I have my notes, because I have the memory of a goldfish, because I have ADHD, and because at any time I can have a blackout. So if I have my speech in front of me, I'm good. I always have my speech in front of me. It reassures me so much, even though I'm not always using it. So I don't have a little monkey, but if I feel a bit stressed, I do something which is recommended by lots of speakers.
So you don't hear the mental dialogue? You don't have a mental dialogue?
I am very physical. I just watch, it's a speaker, CEO who told me, I just watch my hand. Whenever I'm stressed and I'm going to speak on stage, I just watch my hand. It sounds very silly, but it works. You watch your hand, and then you watch the audience and you start your speech. Don't ask me how but it works.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's maybe I don't know, finding again with yourself, and I don't know. It gives confidence. I don't know, but it works.
Okay, just one point. On the 22nd of March, we're also gonna have an ILO failure event. So if you want,
sorry. So go to his event.
There's no problem. There's no,
sorry
we can
about
go
it.
after to the sustainability.
Anyway, we are friends,
event.
so I'll go to his event and the other. No, I'm just joking.
There's no problem. Thank you very much, Grégoire, for being here tonight. And let's drink. Okay.
Thank you.